1, 2, 3. That's better.
Okay. It helps me with syncing the audio. All right. It's episode 2
Hello, guys.
of the Well Alright podcast. What was that?
Literally my phone blowing up. And
Didn't I say that?
And the only time I always have it on silent.
Literally, okay. This is like such a content creator problem, but every single time I sit down to film, everyone in my life decides I suddenly exist. It's like, what is that?
Crazy.
Like, how do you know that I'm filming?
And when I'm sitting around with absolutely nothing to do and like nobody's around to talk. Nobody. It's always when you're so busy.
Okay, and also, so thank you all for tuning in. Our last episode got a lot of great reception. We did have some technical difficulties with Liv's microphone.
I'm hoping all of this recording won't get lost again.
We had some issues, but it's okay. I think we're doing better today. We have some hot topics, I suppose, to discuss.
I am so ready for that.
I know. And so far, we're sticking to our goal of doing it once a month. Just like a period.
I mean, it's almost exactly a month since it's like a little bit over a month since we last recorded.
Oh, yeah, it was January 1st.
So I think we're doing good with the once a month thing.
Yeah. So how are you, Liv?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just so the audience knows, I know you already know, but I just adopted a cat last month. Her name is Mimi, and she's 6 years old, and she's a domestic short hair tortoiseshell mix.
She's really cute.
I don't know if it's too much editing, but like insert picture.
I can put a picture up.
Insert picture here.
Wait, you rescued her? So she was like...
So we adopted her from a animal hospital that also has an adoption program.
Oh.
They rescued her from a kill shelter in Manhattan, and they were going to put her down because she has bladder stones, but they rescued her, they removed them, and she's just on a prescription food now, but she's doing very well, and she's a very happy girl, so.
Sweet.
And she settled in immediately. Like, literally, she was scared for an hour. And they said it would take, a month. But she was scared for maybe an hour, and then she was right at home. So,
Cute.
It was good. So, I highly recommend, y'all, if you have severe anxiety and depression and suffer from loneliness, no, seriously, no joke, adopt a cat. It gives you a whole new sense of purpose.
I can attest to that because when I found Frida, I feel like it filled a void that I didn't even know I had.
I know when you, sorry to interrupt, but I know when you found her, you had just moved to Florida, you're away from home, away from family, so it's kind of I don't know, it's not that you don't have friends, but it's your whole life is at home and you're starting a new life here. For me, it's my whole life is in Pennsylvania, I live far away now, so all my friends are here and stuff, so it's nice to have, a little companion to come home to.
Yeah.
When Anthony's out and about and I have just me and my daughter.
It's nice to have something that just loves you unconditionally, that it's I don't have to, I don't know, I don't have to talk to you, I don't have to, I can just sit here and pet you and you still love me, so that's, yeah.
And, I don't know if you've related to this or have had a similar experience, but I experienced for the first time in my life where I was having a really bad panic attack. I was on the verge of a panic attack, and she climbed up on me and laid down on my chest, and I started petting her and immediately felt better. It was a cure.
I have a similar story to that. I struggle with issues with lightheadedness and feeling faint, and sometimes when it's really bad I have to lay flat on the floor. If my heart rate is it'll go to 120, doing nothing. So there was a time that I thought I was gonna pass out, and I just laid on the floor, and Frida came over and just sat right next to my head, and I think that she knew something was wrong with me, and I'm this is so
And that alone
sweet.
kind of helps calm you down, just having someone there, even if it's an animal.
She can't do anything, but it's nice that she's here for moral support.
Yeah, so with that, I'm getting Mimi certified to be my emotional support animal. So then technically I could take her anywhere.
I have that certification for Frida, but I haven't used it. I'm kind of scared too.
Because legally, if you have an emotional support animal, you don't have to pay any fees or anything, and they're allowed to live in your apartment.
Yeah.
So, cats are allowed in our apartment, but there's a monthly fee, and, we haven't really told them about it yet, but once I know there's maintenance people coming to check on our apartment this month for, just routine stuff. So I hope to have all this certification by then, so if anything is mentioned, I can be like, yeah, we just got her.
Yeah.
I wanted to finalize the paperwork before I mentioned anything to you.
I sort of hate nowadays, how hard it is to find rentals and things like that allow pets, and that it's not an issue, and that you don't have to, pay pet rent, which is so stupid.
But not only is I understand the liability of, needing to pay, a little bit extra a month for pet rent. But, they, this place that I'm at, I love my new apartment, but they want a down payment, and then it's, an extra, $50+ a month for your cat to live there.
Get that cat an OnlyFans.
So, it's one thing if it's, a dog that could actually make a mess, but, this cat, doesn't do anything. Yeah. She doesn't do anything.
I think it's better when they do it more as, a case-by-case basis. They'll kind of see, the temperament of your pet. I've seen places do that, and I think that's better, because it's, you're gonna charge me the same for a cat that sleeps all day than, a dog that could, tear up
or,
everything.
At the end of your lease, when they do the inspection and they need to repair stuff, if your cat or your dog caused damages, then pay for what they
and it's also
messed up.
I could just as easily have a child that could smear feces on the wall, and that's also a whole nother thing. It's so pets are not allowed, but a kid that could be easily more destructive is
not
allowed.
To change the subject, but you mentioning kids, I wanted to say I read some of the comments, and I know there was I saw one girl who commented about having emetophobia and having kids. So I just wanted to thank her personally for her comment. I don't know, I just appreciate when, I people recognize that, and I appreciate you as a person.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of you, girl, whoever you are, for
doing that.
Kids and doing it with emetophobia.
No, seriously, you deserve a trophy, because I don't know how.
There's so much strength in that. So, I don't know. We were reading, I know I was reading the comments on my own personal time, and I appreciate every single comment, and y'all were so nice to me personally, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, everybody was really sweet. On the first episode, I didn't know what to expect. I was I don't know if anyone will watch this. I don't know. But everybody was so kind and receptive, and
yeah, I mean it got a couple views, so
it's okay.
It's not doing too bad.
No.
And once we pick up the social media aspect, it's just all a learning process for me. Is just trying to, at least for me personally, I'm not a big social media person, so it's just, I don't know, learning as I go kind of thing.
Just learning to be comfy with it. But I've also learned that people just like to listen to people talk, because earlier I was listening to a podcast and Brandon was like, oh, do you like these people? Are they a couple or whatever? I'm like, I don't like them or dislike them. I'm kind of indifferent. I just listen to that. I never really thought about if I
Can I ask who?
It was, the channel, she's a therapist, Mickey Atkins on YouTube. She does
her name sounds familiar.
Yeah, so it was her and her husband just talking about mental health things. So and it's I don't know, I don't even want to start a thing, but it's I never really even thought about oh, I love them or I don't like them. It's just I just put them on and listen. So
oh yeah, my new nighttime routine, I don't know if anybody can relate, but I'll put on, lately I've been watching just people play video games. So right now for me it's Markiplier, who's a big one. Well, I had never watched Markiplier before in my whole life, but now I was oh, there's a 135 video playlist of him playing every single Five Nights at Freddy's. So I was I am watching that, and I went through the whole thing, and I go to sleep. Weirdly enough, I go to sleep to him playing horror games. There's something so cozy about watching someone play horror games. It kind of puts you. It puts you to sleep. It puts you to sleep.
I
His voice is soothing.
I watch Blue's Clues to fall asleep.
Valid.
Valid. Like, it's just so, like, monotone and calm. Like, I just need something that is... I think it's more about the person's voice than, like, what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I don't... Like, Markiplier, I won't, like, listen at all or, like, watch it all, but just hearing his soothing, like, deep voice. Yeah. But great content.
So, let's see... Let's, like, get into our topics, if I have my notes. I list them as pod topics, which I feel like kind of sounds like Hot Topic. And I imagine it looking like the Hot Topic logo in my head. Hello.
Sorry.
Anyways.
I was grabbing my phone. Oh, wait, it's right here.
Oh, so I wanted your thoughts on this. So I saw there was, like, this article, and it was, like, unconventional wedding themes.
Love.
Okay, but there was one where I was like, okay, I need Liv's thoughts on this, and it was a serial killer wedding theme.
Oh no. that is so cringy, and I hate when people, like, glorify and celebritize serial killers. It's super interesting stuff, and I'm super interested in it. But when people start to glorify people who have literally killed in the masses, it's so disturbing.
It's weird. Yeah, because it's you could take any like event and turn it into a theme, and that's just, like, gross to me.
It's like, oh, let me make a wedding theme around, like, multiple personality disorder. Like,
yeah, that's...
You're making a wedding around, like, a mental illness. Like, these people are psychopaths. So, oh, you're having a psychopath wedding? Like, I understand maybe the idea of, like, a Halloween, like, slasher themed, like, serial killer wedding. Like, oh, like, Jason Voorhees is the officiant. He's gonna officiate us. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, I even said the same things. I was talking about it with Brandon, and I was like, it'd be one thing if it was, like, Freddy Krueger and, like, Jason and, like, Ghostface, or, like, things like that. But, like, when you're taking real people like Ted Bundy and, like, people that have actually done real harm, like, it's weird.
So that was gonna be my next question. Did you see, like, a Pinterest board? Was it, like, specific serial killers at the wedding around the theme? Or was it just a general serial killer theme? Like, there's, like, a kill room? Or,
so,
like...
it's funny you should ask. Literally, like, the different tables for the family members to sit at, like, there was, like, what's his name? What's the guy that ate people?
Oh,
what's his
Jeffrey
name? Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Dahmer. There was, like, a Jeffrey Dahmer table and, like, a Ted Bundy table. Like, actually, I'm like, that, I'm sorry, but I feel like I wouldn't go to that.
You know, if it's my friend, I'll go and support them, but it's I don't want to ruin their day, but it's just morally, for me, that's just so wrong.
Well, because, like, I brought that up to you because Liv has said that she wants...
at the John Wayne Gacy table?
Ew.
Do I have to dress in a clown skirt or something? Oh, kind of cute.
Oh.
Clown core? Yeah, clown core wedding.
I brought this up to Liv because Liv has said she kind of wants, like, a more, like, gothy wedding theme. So I was like, there's such a fine line of, like, dark, but then, like, this is just messed up. Like, this is just distasteful.
Yeah, a little distasteful, yeah. I love unconventional weddings, and I know mine is gonna lean more towards that way. Anthony, I know he's probably gonna be watching this later, probably with me, so he might correct me if I'm wrong, but he's agreed to a lot of my ideas for our future wedding. Like, I want it to be in the fall or winter time, like, maybe around Halloween time, but I thought it'd be a little corny to be on Halloween. But, like, a fall, like, gothic, and the theme is till death. Like,
yeah, I mean, so and that's a vibe.
I want to keep it classy, like, Victorian gothic style. I'm not set on having a black dress, guys, but if one screams to me, I'm gonna get it. And I know his mom will be upset, and my mom will be upset, and everybody will hate it, but I don't.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah, and I mean, it's like, it's not even really my taste either, but it's just like,
if it works.
If it works, you know, like, that's the... And I think there's more important things with weddings than, like, the superficial aspects. Like, I think people get caught up in the wrong stuff.
Because I didn't want anybody to get the wrong idea with me, like, it has to be a black dress. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But, like, if I find a dress that I love in black, why are you gonna, like, knock me down for wanting a black dress on my wedding? On my wedding day.
Well, and I mean, like, there's other, like, if you can't find a black dress, like, you could always do, like, black flowers and, like, super black, like, decorations and, like, tablecloths. So, like, there's a way to, like, make it
Yeah, so we were thinking, like, black and, like, deep reds, like, really, like, dark and, like, everything candle lit.
Ooh,
and
I kind of love that, though. Even though it's not my aesthetic at all, like, I love that.
And I want to see what the viewers think, but I had seen, I think it was someone off of, like, she was on, like, some sort of reality show, like, a dating reality show, but she had a black dress. And all of her guests wore white. Like, everybody wore white except for the bride and the groom. And I loved that idea. So I was like, if I'm going to be in black, then I'd probably want my bridesmaids to be in white.
Do you think you would do, like, the bridesmaids thing?
I think I would.
Yeah, like, I struggled with that because I'm just like, I don't know who they would be. I'm like, I don't know anybody. Like, it would literally be, like, you.
I have so, like, I don't have that many people. For me, it would just be family. Like, it would be you. You'd probably be my maid of honor for sure. I would definitely ask you more officially in the future, but...
Don't make me cry right now.
Like, it'll be you, and then Anthony's sister.
Oh, my mic came undone.
Oh,
my mic came undone.
Hold, everybody hold.
We're back.
All right, sorry guys, we had to take a little intermission.
I'm gonna try not to touch my mic so much because my cord has been like, I don't know what's wrong with it. I think I need to like glue it or something because it keeps like
you want to
unplugging.
fidget with it.
Yeah, like I want to just keep moving it around, but the cord is like hanging on by a thread, so I'm gonna try not to touch it. Anyways.
Yeah, but talking about weddings, like I would have like our cousin Aubrey be in it, like a bridesmaid. I would have Allie if she would like able to come, and like his sister, Anthony's sister. So like I have a couple people like within the family that I would want to be, like I would want to keep it small, but like if I'm going that route, I would hope to entrust in you a lot, like. If you would want to be my maid of honor to help me plan my wedding and plan, like, my bridal shower and my bachelorette party. And
I would love that. Well, I was also going to ask if I could film it.
Yeah,
I would love to do the wedding video.
If you want to film it, but I know just from filming your wedding, it is a lot of work.
But, like...
And you're, like, you have... It's hard to... Not that I didn't enjoy myself at your wedding. I loved your wedding. But it was definitely... It felt like I was more focused on... the work than enjoying myself. And I'd want you to have fun.
Well, I think, like, yeah, I think a lot of people see it as, like, work, but I think I would have most fun, like, if I filmed it. Like, that's the thing. I think people would think that they're putting me out as, like, oh, I want you to have fun and, like, be a guest, but, like, to me, I think I'd have the most fun if I mean,
no pressure, but if you want to film it and make the video, that'd be awesome.
I would that's, like, my love language, though, is, like, making videos for people. So, like...
I can't wait to talk about this wedding more seriously when I'm engaged. I feel like it's happening, but it's not. I'm just ready for it, guys. What the heck?
Just, like, manifest.
Nobody find Anthony's social media because he doesn't have any. And nobody bully him or bother him. He's okay.
Oh, my gosh. So another thing, okay, have you seen that trend on TikTok? Speaking of, like, husbands and getting married, that trend on TikTok where, like, women would put, like, ketchup on the counter and, like, ask their husband to come in and clean it.
I saw one video and, like, they cleaned it like absolute shit.
Yeah, and
like, they didn't know how to wipe it up.
I'm watching this and I am thinking, if that were Brandon, you couldn't pay me to post that.
That had to have been a bit. Like, there's no way that was real.
I don't know what it is with the internet and, like, infantilizing men and, like, showing how incompetent men are at doing stuff. Like, to me, that's just, like, why are we showing this? And why are we, like, making a joke out of this? Like, this is embarrassing. Like...
Yeah, it's making me embarrassed to be with a man right now.
Yeah, it's just, like...
No, but, like, I feel like it depends on a lot of things. Like, Anthony and I are... like basically freshly moved out of the nest, so we're learning how to do things. Yeah. So if there's something that he doesn't quite get or I don't quite get, like I don't know how to clean this up, like it doesn't give me the ick at all if he doesn't know how to do something, because he literally just moved out and he was never the one to be the cleaner. So now he's cleaning and he doesn't mind doing it and loves it. But if he doesn't know how to clean something properly, it doesn't. Like, why are people torturing men online
Granted,
about this stuff?
I have a funny story about that. It's funny you should say that because recently, like, we have issues with our dishwasher to where it, like, backs up. Like, our sink gets clogged, and then we'll, like, plunge the sink, and then it backs up into the dishwasher.
Ew.
Which, yeah, like, we should really call our landlord to come fix it, but I don't want my landlord in my house, so I just don't use my dishwasher. I don't care. And, like, it really stunk, so I took, like, a thing of bleach and just, like, dumped it down the sink. And then I, like...
You need, like, Drano.
Right, but then, like, I poured bleach, like, straight into the dishwasher and ran it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pass out from these fumes. And Brandon was like, you're supposed to dilute it. I was like...
Oh, you didn't dilute it?
Yeah, he's like, you only need, like, a tiny bit of bleach. So, like, that's the thing, is, like, I'm not saying it's, like, bad to not know how to do something, because, like, here I am, like, making myself sick from bleach, so, like, okay, but it's also, like, if Brandon filmed me doing that, like, all right, honey, clean up with bleach, and, like, me just pouring a gallon of, like, and he posted that, I'd be mortified.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, for me, like... I had never cleaned a bathroom before, really. Yeah. So, when I would go to clean my bathroom and I'm mixing all these chemicals, like, I'm almost on the floor.
Like that meme. Did you see that meme? I shared it on Facebook. The guy just, like, leaning against the wall.
Yes! Yes! And when you live in a tiny apartment that doesn't have a window in the bathroom.
I've done that so many
times. Being an adult is a learning process.
It really is.
And don't hate on men for not knowing how to wipe up ketchup properly. Ketchup's hard to clean sometimes, okay?
I saw that too.
I think it's a little suspect that guy was wiping it so weirdly. It looked like a bit.
Just, like, smearing it, like, into a giant puddle. It's just like...
Yeah, it looked like a bit to me, but if it was real, don't hate on that guy too hard, because he probably gets babied a lot and doesn't have to clean anything.
There's this weird trend, I think especially on TikTok, where it's like, look how much my husband doesn't know how to do stuff. And, like, this woman came home from, like, the grocery store, and the husband was like, oh, did you enjoy your time out, like, or your time away? Like, that was my gift to you. And he's, like, home with their baby. It's like, that's not a gift. Like, that's, like, you're also a parent. Like, you're not a babysitter. Like,
Lord.
It's weird. Like,
that is a little...
And people posting that. Like, let me just set my husband up to be criticized by the internet. Like, that's embarrassing to me.
Can we talk about my favorite trend with men is just the icks on TikTok, and it goes to that music that's like, you look so dumb right now. Like, men just, like, pedaling bikes weird. Or, like, this woman, like, they were swimming in, like, the ocean, and she put the phone under the water, and he was, like, swimming with his toes pointed. And it was just like, you look so dumb. Like, I totally get the whole ick thing. Like, so I love that trend on TikTok. It is so good.
I don't know if I have any icks, though. I don't think...
You don't have any icks that Brandon does?
I mean, like, he definitely does stuff that, like, annoys me at times, but, like, also I can be very irritable at times, but he doesn't do anything where I'm like, ew, like, it, like, makes me cringe. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I don't have any, like, family-friendly icks.
No PG icks.
No, I'm just kidding. I really need it. I understand the idea of men having icks, and, I mean, like, the worst ick that he has done, I know he's going to be watching, so I'm going to be as nice as possible, but it's just, like, excessive burping, like, relentless burping, when, like, I'm already nauseous, and I'm hearing him just, like, wet burping, like, that'll give me the ick, because it's like, please stop, that's too much, but is that really an ick, though? I don't know.
I think I'd be more concerned if that didn't gross you out.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know what's... Brandon and I joke about this all the time. It's kind of like an ick of each other. But, like, when we're laying in bed, we'll, like, lift the covers up and look at, like, our legs. And we're just like, ew. Like, it feels like we're not supposed to see this.
No, I don't think I could see that.
No, like, do it tonight. Like, when you're laying in bed, like, just lift it and look. Even your own legs. You're like, well, I feel like I'm not supposed to be seeing this.
Last night he gave me the ick because he did not, like, want to come to bed. Like... He was so tired, and, like, when he gets super tired and cranky on the couch, like, and I'm shaking him, and I'm, like throwing his arm around, like, let's go to bed, and he's just, like, and he slept on the couch the whole night. He never came to bed. And I was like,
okay.
I was like, men getting fussy and acting like babies sometimes gives me the ick a little bit.
Yeah, that's
me
ick.
But with peace, like, I love him with peace and love, like,
with all the peace and love.
I was just like, last night I hadn't seen him all day, and I just was like, just come to bed, like, we can, like, go to bed together, we, like, snuggle, and it was just like, all right, see ya.
I don't think B and I don't even go to bed without each other. Like, as soon as one of us is ready to go to bed, it's like, okay, I'm going to bed too. But we're both, like, crotchety old people at this point where it's like, we're trying to get in bed as early as humanly possible. Like,
Valid.
is it too early to go to bed?
Valid.
Oh, wait, did you have a topic? 'Cause I have a fun topic.
We can do yours first, because...
Okay. I thought we could talk about the fun story time of when you met Big Time Rush.
Oh!
I thought of this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to talk about this so bad. Because this is literally my Roman Empire. Because I think about this all the time.
That is so fun.
So Liv
Guys.
met Big Time Rush. Which, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal now because they're back together. Mm-hmm. But... this was
no,
back...
if anything, it's a bigger deal.
Well, right, but I mean...
I knew them way back when.
Right, this was, like, the original Big Time Rush when they were, like, still on Nickelodeon. Liv met them, and, I'm so jealous, so please share.
Okay, so the deal is that they were, I think it was at, like, a Best Buy or a Barnes & Noble.
I think it was Best Buy.
Where they were doing a CD signing. CD signing? They were doing some sort of signing.
Yeah.
So we begged our mom to go, and you came along too with someone who shouldn't be named, but we all went. We all went, and lo and behold, like, you needed, like, a ticket, like a wristband, or you needed to pay to get admission, so we could see them, but there was this whole line to get up to see them. Mm-hmm. And me being a emotional, hormonal teenage girl.
How old were we?
I think I was like 14 or 15. 14,
no, you had
maybe?
to be younger, because I was like 15, 16. That's when I had my boyfriend. That's how this was 2010.
So maybe I was like 13. So maybe I was 13. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So I was like 13, and we're like, oh, we're never gonna meet them. Like, me and my twin sister were bawling our eyes out, like, oh, we wanted to meet them so bad. And there's this woman, like, we're just standing, like, at the edge, and this woman is walking with her daughter, and she was like, I'll sneak you guys in, like, I'll just say you're with me. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, didn't she say, like, it was her son, like, oh, you guys just pretend to be with my son?
Yeah. Like her little son.
So you and Allie took her son up to have his CD signed, right?
Yeah, so he went first. I hardly remember the kid because I was so in my own head, in my own world. And so the first person I lock eyes with and I go up to is James. I want to tell you, like, James was, like, at the time he wasn't, like, my favorite. Like, everybody has a favorite member. Yeah. After that night, he was my favorite because he had, and you can tell he was just such a kind and genuine person because he was like, oh my gosh, like, why are you crying, sweetheart? You are way too beautiful to cry. And he held both my hands and he was just like, just look in my eyes. Everything's okay.
Wait, you should look into the camera and say.
He held my hands and he was like, oh, you're too beautiful to cry. Like, it's so nice to meet you. And I was trying to get my words out. I can't even remember what I said. It was a fever dream. But I was like, I'm sorry I'm crying. I'm just so happy to meet you. I love you guys. And he was like, here, I have something for you. And he's holding my hands. He doesn't even let go of my hands. He has a couple silly bands. This is the era of silly bands. He has a red one. Or maybe he does let go because he takes off and he shows it to me. He's like, this is my heart. It was a red heart-shaped silly band. And he was like, and I want you to have it. I want you to have my heart. And he puts it on my wrist. And he puts it on my wrist. And when I tell you, I was just about fainted.
Liv.
And I still have it.
You still have it?
I still have it.
I will literally buy it.
I don't know where it is currently, but I know I still have it.
Oh my gosh.
And then, I feel like Carlos and Logan were kind of more crowd working at the time.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, and also James gave me a hug too, which was nice. And, Logan was kind of crowd working, but you can tell he's such a nice guy. And then I saw Kendall, and Kendall gave me a hug, and he was like super sweaty. Peace and love, Kendall. You were so sweaty. But he's like, oh, hey, like, don't cry, man. Like, it's so nice to see you. Like, so glad you're here. And, he gave me a blue guitar silly band.
I thought there was 2 silly bands. I'm
there
like,
is 2.
Am I forgetting this?
And he gave that to me, and he was like, I hardly remember the interaction. It was so surreal. But, and then Carlos, I was so disappointed. Carlos was my favorite, and I was trying to say hi to him, but he, like, totally ignored me. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's a hectic moment.
Yeah, there's a lot
I was a
going
little
on.
disappointed, but I didn't leave incredibly disappointed because James was so nice, and I wish I could thank him personally for...
Thank you, James.
Because that really did stick with me, that, like, even celebrities, like, people that you look up to and you have on such a high pedestal are so down to earth. Like, you can tell that he genuinely cared. Like, he wasn't just trying to get me to go. Like, he took a really long time to just talk with me and be like, hey, there's no need to cry.
Sweet.
Like you are too beautiful to cry. And I'm like,
I'm also, like, trying to put myself in their position, and it's like, here you have, like, a 13-year-old fangirl that's, like, crying and screaming. It's like, that's kind of overwhelming. So, like, James handled it in a way, and then it's like Carlos was just like, I'm not doing this. So it's like, I can honestly understand both of those. Like, it's valid. That's a lot. So.
I don't know, like, for me, just, like, Carlos's, like, social media presence and just, like, who he is as a person, he just seems very cocky. Like, he kind of seems like a little, like, the stuffiest one of the group for me.
Yeah.
And it stinks because he was my favorite. So, but whatever. I had a really good time. I don't know if anybody else wants to share in the comments, like, stories of meeting someone, like, a celebrity or someone that they looked up to, and they almost totally flopped it.
Yeah.
By, like, bawling their eyes out.
For real.
But, I don't know. Have we ever met any other celebrities? I know you met Trisha.
Oh, yeah. I met Trisha Paytas back in 2018.
You guys were kind of besties back in the day.
This is so crazy because Brandon got me the Trisha Paytas VIP package for Christmas. And it was our first Christmas, like, living up here in PA, and she was going to be in Philly, and, like, I was stoked. So, like, I posted on my Instagram story, it was a YouTube video. I posted a YouTube video, just kind of like an update, like, oh, hey, guys, I moved, and I mentioned, like, at the end of it that I was going to the Trisha Paytas live concert, and next thing I know, I look at her Instagram story, and she, like, posted, like, her filming my video on her story, and was like, oh my God. I'm gonna, like, she's like, don't be a sad panda, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna meet you, like, I love this girl. And, like, when I went there and met her, as soon as I walked up to her, she was like, don't be a sad panda, and just embraced me. I was like, this is insane, like, how does Trisha freaking Paytas know me? Like, and it was so funny, too, because when she filmed the video, like, on her computer screen, the video had, like, no views on it when she was filming it. So she was, like, one of the first people to watch it.
She subscribed to you. Like, she's like, she watches your videos.
I don't know if she still does. She's still Trisha, hey, girl. Hey, I don't know if she still does, but either way, no, like, I love her.
Well, she's having her second baby now, so.
I know. Like, I love this new era of Trisha Paytas. I've been here through the good, the bad, and the ugly, so, like, I'm so happy for her.
I'm a full supporter, so.
We stand.
Yeah.
But, like, that was so crazy to me that it was, like, I did not expect that at all. Like, I knew that she had subscribed to me years ago, but I did not think that she, like, actually watched my videos. Yeah. You know? Like, it was so crazy.
That is so surreal. That is so awesome.
I was like, but it made me, like, super nervous to meet her. Because I'm like, wait, she knows who I am. Like, this is scary.
Oh, do you know what that reminds me of? When we met the band Red. after our first concert.
Oh my gosh.
And they were super nice.
They were really
so nice.
Well, because the, what was it, like the drummer and the guitar player were twins?
The bass player and the guitar player are twins.
Yeah.
And we took a picture with Anthony, not my boyfriend. Guitar player Anthony. I can't remember the other guy's name. But they were doing whatever. But we took a picture with one of the twins, and we took a picture with the singer, Michael Barnes.
Yes.
From the band Red. And it was like, I don't know, they were really big at the time. They're not really big anymore, but like that was my first concert experience, and we sat front row, and they were like, they're like, we normally play bigger shows. Like, they were kind of like, they were kind of like embarrassed that this was our first show.
Yeah, they were like, this
was your guys' first show? Like, this is kind of small. Like, sorry. Like, we usually have like bigger sets. Like, this was just kind of like.
Well, and not only that, the venue was in a bar, and all of us were under 21. So, like, our mom literally, like, finessed the bouncer to get us in.
Yeah, because when I had begged our mom to buy the tickets, I didn't know that it was a 21 plus show. So we didn't really realize until we were driving there that we were about to get into a 21 plus show, and we were, I know I was like, I think 14 or 15. Yeah. So I was 15. But it all worked out, and we also met some other underage people that we helped get in.
Yeah, they were in line with us, and, like, we all started panicking, and my mom was just like, just stick with us, I'll get you guys in.
Like, yeah, and, like, they were like, oh, just keep an eye on them, don't go near the bar. It's like, I'm 15. Like, yeah. I know some people drink when they're teenagers, but I'm like, I was here to see Red.
I remember our mom said to the bouncer, she was like, if they go near the bar, they're going to have to be more worried about me than you. And he was just like, okay. He was like, all right, lady. Like, that's fine. So, like, yeah, I don't want to say one a few times, but it's like that moment when your mom does something cool. Where it's like,
oh my gosh, she came through that night.
She really came in clutch.
So, yeah, that was, I haven't met many celebrities, but, like, the people that I've met, all super nice. I haven't had any, like, bad experiences with meeting a celebrity. I'm curious if anybody else has in the comments.
Yeah, so. I would love to hear about, like, bad celebrity experiences, too, like, if you have any. When Brandon and I first met, when I went down to Florida to, like, stay with him for a week, we saw, oh my gosh, what was it, Vine at the time? Like, I think it was literally Vine. On Vine. Yeah, Vine. And Josh Peck posted that he was going to be in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at this, I think it was like a movie theater or something. And I'm like, honey, we can go meet Josh Peck.
Wait, did you?
So we go there. There is a huge swarm of people there. And we waited for like 2 hours. Like, we went and got frozen yogurt, and we're sitting there, and it's like 90 degrees. It was miserable. And then,
so why was he there?
I have no idea. But then there was like all this commotion. People were like gathering around the door, and we're like, oh, he's gonna come out. And we're like kind of far away. We're probably like 30, 40 feet away from the door. And we see him come out of the door, but then he just got, like, ambushed with people.
Oh, poor guy.
And then all the bodyguards, like, pulled him back in, and it's like, you guys, like, just ruined this whole thing. Like, if y'all would have just backed up, he could have come out and, like, actually met people.
He's literally a person. Like, leave him alone. You would not want that to be done to you.
No, and it's like, we could have had this fun thing. We all could have went and met him. But then it was also weird, because, like, they brought in, like, they picked, like, girls out of the crowd and, like, took them inside. And we're like, what?
Was this before he was married?
I think so.
Okay.
So like, it was really weird. And Brian was like, why are they just taking, like, pretty girls inside? Like,
you should have been like, hello.
Like, hey.
Hello.
But the funny thing is like, by the time it was over, like, we were over it. Like, we waited for, like, 2 hours to see him for, like, a millisecond and from, like, far away. So it was like, weird. Okay, that was stupid. Like, let's never do this again.
Yeah.
So.
At least you tried.
We tried. What topics do you have, Liv?
So, let me just, my phone's right here. So, what I wanted to do is, I was thinking of introducing you to a band that I like.
Ooh.
And, I know with copyright stuff, we can't really listen to music on here.
Right.
But, I'll just bring them up, I'll talk about them, and then I also wanted to introduce you to, like, a really hot guy that I like.
Okay.
But I was thinking of just merging the two.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
So I wanted to merge it and introduce you to a band where the lead singer is super hot and is like a goth icon.
Vibe.
Goth icon. So have you ever heard of the band Type O Negative?
I've heard of them, surprisingly.
Okay.
Is it like on TikTok? Have they been on? Is that where I could have heard of them? I don't know, but I've definitely heard of them.
You could have. So all my Type O Negative fans, give like a little like wave, like hands up like this in the chat. In the comments.
In the chat. Chat, is this real?
Chat is Chat GPT in the comments. But so they were really big in the 90s. They were kind of really big front runners in like the death metal, doom metal scene. Okay. So I really like them. Actually, one of their songs is going to be our first dance, Anthony and I's first dance.
Oh, maybe this is how I've heard of them then.
So, yeah.
This could be it.
So, the guy I wanted to talk about with this band, his name is Peter Steele. Have you heard of Peter Steele?
No. Should I look him up?
Before you look him up, I'll look him up for you.
Oh, okay.
So, back in the day, I want you to try to picture this man before you look at a picture.
Okay.
I want you to picture an extremely shredded, buff, pale guy who is 6'9" and long black hair and just shredded and has the deepest, most sultry, sexy voice.
He sounds kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
So that's ladies. That's part of the appeal.
Oh my gosh!
And he is so gorgeous. He gives off vampire energy, and he was in Playgirl magazine, which I don't know if you've heard. It's basically
like Playboy but for girls.
Yes, where there are literally just pictures of him with his full frontal nudity in this magazine. Like this man, he is. So we'll probably post the picture up here that I show her.
The image I have in my head is actually really ugly, surprisingly. I think because when you said 6'9", I'm picturing like, no offense, but like I'm picturing like Andre the Giant. Like I can't get that out of my head.
Sorry, I overshot. He's 6'8", but still,
that's still huge. What the heck?
And we're just gonna. I'm gonna show you that this is one of my favorite pictures of Peter Steele.
I'm gonna say smash or pass.
Smash or pass? You need another one?
I don't know about that picture. From that picture alone, I'd say pass, I think.
Okay, well, here's him in the band. Come on.
He's interesting. He's not really my cup of tea, though.
Valid.
He's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of frightening.
Ladies, it's gonna be a smash for me.
I think I'm gonna pass, to be honest. I'm more of into, like, I don't know. I kind of like more nerdy, kind of like.
Should I show you his nudes?
I don't know if I want to see the nudes. All right, lay it on me.
All right.
I already said pass, so.
Everybody, if you're under the age of 18, do not look these up, but this is for educational purposes.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, now it's a definite pass. That's weird. Wait, my ick is when men take nudes. I feel like naked pictures of men
This
are
is for a magazine,
Ew!
though. All right. Yeah, I think when men take eggplant pictures, it's a little cringy.
It's
for
weird.
Sure.
It's just kind of like, I don't know, and they're just all like.
Okay, so let's cross those nude pictures out of your head. Peter Steele as a whole, smash or pass?
I will say he's very handsome, and he's, like, cool. I would say he's really cool, but, like, it's a pass for me.
And, you know, he had... I'm gonna say had because unfortunately he did pass away.
Oh no!
I wanted to kind of.
Oh, rip.
I wanted you to kind of just be obsessed with this guy and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, he's death.
Just, like, ruin it, like, spoiler alert.
Yeah, he passed away in the early 2000s. I believe it was from a heart attack. It was nothing crazy, but he's a very tall guy.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So I wonder, he had an aneurysm, an aortic aneurysm, so his aorta ruptured.
How old was he?
He was only 48 when he passed away. But,
rest in peace.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one, ladies.
Okay, let's move on.
And then after I show you all these guys, we're gonna play F, Marry, Kill.
Oh my god. So okay.
We're gonna go a little bit more obscure now. This is also a lead singer of a band. So we're introducing you to a band and a hot guy.
Okay.
Do you like this? Is this good content?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm afraid now.
So have you heard of the band Sleep Token?
Yes.
You have?
I've heard that, yes. I've heard that, but I couldn't name a song, but yes.
That's okay. You might recognize a tune from TikTok called The Summoning, and it's like, did I mistake you for a sign from God?
I don't think I've heard that.
Copyright? So
TikTok removing
the lead
all the
singer is actually anonymous. His name, he goes by Vessel, and he is a masked artist, like an unknown artist.
I'm already liking this.
So I for some reason I like masked men.
I do too.
And if you thought Peter Steele was creepy, this he's gonna look vanilla to this. So this is Vessel.
Wait, what's up with his face?
He's wearing a mask, but his mouth is exposed.
He has a lot of tattoos.
So it's body paint.
Oh, it's
He's
paint?
wearing a cloak
Okay.
and he's wearing body paint. So some of like the appeal with Vessel is like he has very loose pants and you can kind of see everything. But his voice is like the angels are like he looks like a demon, sings like an angel.
Interesting. So that's a huge pass, and so far he's the kill.
He's the what?
He's the kill, the F, Marry, Kill.
Oh, so far he's the kill.
That's a little terrifying.
Okay, well,
who's the last one?
I'm thinking, should I go more vanilla or scare you even further?
It's up to you. Surprise me.
Okay, so, I either want to go with another masked guy or, like, daddy. Like, a guy that gives big daddy energy.
Go daddy.
Okay, so...
GoDaddy.com.
Have you heard of the band Cannibal Corpse?
Yes.
Okay, so, Cannibal Corpse is a, like... We'll just say heavy metal. They are, like, death metal. Like, they are full just gurgling sounds. Like, they have a song about men shooting blood from their... Yeah, like, their music is very weird and
Go to the doctor, please.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
So, the lead singer, his name is George Fisher, but he goes by, what's his name? Corpse Grinder. And hear me out, but before I show you this guy, I want you to hear about his attitude, because he's a dad, and he's a sweetie, and he loves playing crane games and winning stuffed animals.
See, I need lore for men. Like, when I know lore about men, then I'm like, I can form a better opinion. And so far, this guy sounds...
He is known as, like, the king, at least from... Don't quote me on this. He's, like, the king of headbanging. And he has a huge neck.
Just like a big meaty neck.
Yes. So.
Okay, I'm gonna hear you out. What in the hell?
No.
You need to send me that exact picture to put up on the screen. What?
That's gonna be in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So, hear me out. Why did K. George?
Girl.
Hear me out, because I bring George Fisher up because if we're talking about F, Marry, Kill, I would marry this man. I would marry.
Girl, he looks like Big Ed. He literally looks like Big Ed.
But he has a neck.
Okay. I will say for F, marry, kill, I will also marry him.
Look at his neck.
What the? That looks fake.
He's not physically attractive by any means.
Him, like, just standing? Is there a picture of him just, like, standing there normal? When you said he had a big neck, I was picturing, like, a manly, like, masculine neck, not like...
Here's him with his kids. Like, wholesome guy. He has little girls at home.
He's a girl dad. Okay, Mary.
He's a girl dad.
Mary. I love
He's a girl dads. And his one daughter looks just like him, which is very interesting. Look at him with winning the big stuffed animal for her.
Okay, I love him. I was a little shocked at first.
Yeah, I wanted to give the shock value because physically he's not attractive, but for me he's like big dad energy, like that's what I meant by dad energy. Like, I just want him to be my dad.
Well, both of us sitting here with our daddy issues. Like, no, like, as soon as I saw him with the little girls, I was like, okay, smash. Like, yes, like, I love, of the three you showed, he's the best
You'd
one.
Smash?
Yes.
Okay.
But okay.
Let it be known, Adria will smash Corpse Grinder.
Okay, no, but out of the three.
But he's like a proper married man. Like he's like a sweetheart. But then he goes like, Nana, plug your ears. He'll go on stage and be like, this song is about shooting blood from your cock.
Oh my gosh. Like, imagine his daughters.
Can you censor me? Can you bleep me? Yeah.
I will bleep that. Imagine his daughters like growing up and seeing that though. Like, hearing your dad saying that would be like,
so I feel like this would be a fun segment every time to introduce you to three people and F, marry, kill. They're all a little weird.
Okay, the first guy with like the nudes.
Peter Steele.
I guess.
Gonna kill him if he's already dead.
I was gonna say like I could just him because he's already dead.
Oh, but he's also a sweetie.
Is he sweeter of the guy?
So he was like a big ladies' man back in the day, but he was very selective. Like he was not, as far as I know, he was not like a hoe. Like he was very respectful of women, and he loved and respected women to the highest extent. Vessel is an unknown oddity of just this guy.
I may have to kill him then, because that's kind of scary, to be honest. Like, honestly, all of them were scary in different ways.
Valid.
Like, I wasn't really feeling any of them, but, yeah, I guess I would, the guy in the mask, because that's kind of scary, and I would very reluctantly F the first one, and then cry after. But
That's rough.
I'm a happily married woman.
I am not.
I hate when people are like, oh, I only have eyes for like one person. It's like, you can acknowledge when other people are attractive. Like, I feel if I ask Brandon like, oh, is she pretty? Like, I feel like if he would say no, I'd be like, all right, well, now you're a liar. So,
yeah, just be real with me.
Yeah, like
if
a girl's pretty, like, just say so.
Oh yeah.
What was so funny was we were at the gym. And, like, I thought I saw this guy, like, looking at me. Like, because Brandon and I, like, weren't together. And, like, I look kind of cute. Like, I have my hair in a ponytail, and I, like, have a little bit of, like, makeup on. Just to, like, I feel better about myself when I just have, like, a little concealer. Valid. You know? Like, so I don't look like a toad. And, like, I saw this guy, like, looking at me. And when I told Brandon, he was like, oh, is he at least cute? So we're just, I don't know.
Was he?
I was like, he was a little young. He looked like maybe like 20. Like he looked very young. So I was like, I'm like, he wasn't ugly, but he looked very young. But the one day Brandon saw a guy like looking me up and down, and I was like, well, was he at least cute? And Brandon was like, no, he was like a construction worker guy. Like he was in like construction clothes, and he's like, he just looked grimy. So it's like Brandon and I are just like, we'll tell each other at least if the person's hot. Like, get checked out.
Listen, we can hate on men all we want for them checking girls up and down in the gym, but I am no better than any other man.
For real.
If a girl has a nice butt, I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm no better.
Yeah, like, are we gonna
If you have a nice figure and you're good looking and you're pretty, or if you're a super handsome man, like, I'm gonna check you. I'm taken, but, like, I'm gonna look at you.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird that people are like, I feel like you're just lying to yourself when you can't admit that other people are attractive, because like that doesn't mean I want to run off and be with them, but it's like I'm also not gonna sit here and lie.
Like, like I'll even be like, I'm sorry, I just did a double take. Like that person was just very attractive, so of course I'm gonna look for a moment and then respectfully look away. But you know, Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully, but if I see Rhea Ripley walking up on the street, I'm checking her out. Up and down.
I'm like, what? It's weird to me that it's like, all those guys you showed me, it's just like, yeah, I'd rather have Rhea Ripley than any of those three men, and I'm just like, it's 100%. Weird. And it's weird because I'm straight, but it's like, what is it with this woman that I love her?
Can we talk about how sexuality is a spectrum here?
Perhaps. But like, yeah, like that's like, she's like you are the only exception.
Oh, yeah.
I just love her. I love her.
Oh, next time we'll do women. I'll bring 3 women in for F, Marry, Kill.
Interesting.
That are like my pride and joy of like goth culture.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, 3 lead singers that are super hot, and yeah. So stay look forward to that next month. Hold me accountable.
Tuned.
Yeah. But anything else you wanted to talk about on the pod today?
Oh, let me see.
Corpse Grinder, for me, bringing that up was a little bit of it like a curveball. Like, I wasn't expecting to bring up Corpse Grinder, but if you knew just how sweet of a guy that guy is, like, that's why I put him, because if we're playing F, Marry, Kill, I'm marrying that man.
Yeah.
I'm marrying.
I remember years ago, I made a video, like, talking about, like, how looks don't really matter, and the amount of, like, insecure men in the comments that were like, you're a liar, you're so full of it, and it's just like, I don't think you understand that for women, like, like, most of it comes down to just who you are as a person, like, and men think that that's just, maybe because they don't feel that way, it's like, you're just telling on yourself, like, alright, tell me you're shallow, but that doesn't mean that I am, like,
yeah.
For me, it's just, like, I so much more value, like, just the core of a human being than their aesthetic.
But here's the thing, like, when you get to know somebody, their exterior becomes more physically attractive. Mm-hmm. When I first met Anthony, it was like, he was not my type. I wasn't into him, like, wasn't that into him. I thought he was cute, but when I got to know him as a person, I'm like, I am extremely physically attracted to you. Like, I like you inside and out.
Yeah.
It wasn't about looks to me. It never was. Yeah. You know?
Like, yeah, it's like, and I even said this to Brandon recently, because I kind of missed out on, like, the whole, like, online dating, like, Tinder and, like, the swiping
thank
thing.
God you did.
I missed out on that whole culture, but I'm like, I don't think that would work for me, because just seeing a picture of somebody, I don't know if I could decide if I'd want to pursue it or not. Like, that's hard for me, because my brain, like, isn't wired like that. I would almost want to read, like, just, like, a biography about somebody and not see their face.
And men gotta work on their game in those apps, because men do not know how to do, like, it is bad.
Is it bad?
I feel, I don't use it anymore, obviously, but I feel bad to anybody who has to go on those apps, men and women alike, because it is a tough world out there. It is a dog eat dog, and, like, straight men just don't know how to make good, appealing profiles. They just don't.
And I feel like
they are disastrous, and then they don't know how to communicate, and you're like, well, this is a red flag all around.
That it just sounds scary to me. Like, it's weird. And the thing is with, like, an online dating profile is, like, you can make yourself seem however you want, and that's kind of frightening, because it's like, you don't really even fully know what you're getting into until you even get to know somebody. And I just heard a TikTok about this where this guy was saying how, like, I think we were even kind of discussing this on the last one, where it's like, in the beginning, you're kind of just, like, putting up this, not facade, but you're, like, kind of selling yourself in a way, you know? Like, you want to make yourself look as good as you possibly can. But
you're not being your true, authentic self, because you're trying to sell the experience and just have it be a good first date and a good first date experience.
And I think that's almost
we
the
did
problem.
talk about that last time.
Yeah, that's almost the problem with, like, dating apps and, like, swiping through people is, like, you just don't get, like, an authentic version of somebody that way.
I understand people's, like, if you're looking to find somebody and it's really hard and that's your only outlet, it's out there, but when I tell you, it shouldn't be the primary go-to. I'm telling you, there are so many better ways. Like, I met my boyfriend through my friend's boyfriend at the time. Like, there's outlets, like, go join an a club, go volunteer somewhere, get involved in your community, and you'll find so much more genuine connections with people versus swiping on a phone. It's like a game. It really dehumanizes people to just amount them to just a profile. It could be a great person, but if it's a dude that does not know that his first picture is him and his sister and it looks like his girlfriend, and then the next one is him holding a fish, like, you're gonna swipe on him, but he might be a nice guy. But if you can go out there and make genuine human connection, like, for real, or like even like find communities online, like, don't go on the dating apps, like, find like communities online where you meet people with similar interests and meet people through common interests, not a dating app itself.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a issue with dating apps, but like you said, it is kind of like dehumanizing, and it almost feels like online shopping in a way, or like you're scrolling through a catalog, and it feels really just like superficial and weird. It's like you're not getting to know these people. You're just like, oh, this person looks hot, or this person doesn't look hot, and I'm just swiping right or left. I don't even know which way is right. Is swiping right?
Swiping right would be a match, and left is not a match.
Okay.
So I remember when I was on the dating apps, for me it was just like trying to just meet new people and maybe finding a connection. For me, it was never really anything serious.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people go, like, it's hard to go on there and find something serious. You can find something casual, sure, and like meet really nice people, and you just meet up with them a couple times and then goodbye.
The thought of that is really scary.
It's terrifying.
That's really scary.
It's terrifying. I was very lonely in my early 20s.
I was too.
So I met a couple really nice people along the way, but nothing that stuck, and I wish them all the best. But
word.
Like, go on dating apps if you're looking for something fun and casual. Be safe out there, because it's a scary world.
I would love to hear if anybody has, like, a dating app success story. Like, if you guys, like, made it. 'Cause I don't know if I've ever heard of that. If people, like, staying together, like, long term. Like, oh, we met on Tinder and now we're married. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard that.
Well, I guess our mom did on Christian Mingle.
Oh, yeah, our mom met our stepdad on Christian Mingle, which is so funny. Like, I found
him. Such a boomer website.
Wait, isn't that how Gypsy Rose met?
Yeah.
That's how she met the guy that her mom, like, what? Like, it's such, that feels weird. That feels
drama.
Weird to me.
Drama.
Gypsy Rose. Oh my gosh.
Oh, girl.
But yeah, I found our stepdad for our mom on Christian Mingle. I'm like, this guy looks nice. And we like, I think we like winked at him or something. Is
that what you do? Funny. You wink?
I think that's what it was on Christian Mingle. Like, you could like send like a, like a wink. Like,
that is so funny.
Oh, now they've been together for like, I think over 11
years.
I think they've been married for like 11. So like, I'm a matchmaker, kind of.
I guess so. I mean, I want to hear like a modern day, like, millennial or like a Gen Z story where it's like, we've been dating for like 5 years now and we're so happy and we met on Tinder.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Tinder user. I was a Bumble user.
What's the difference?
So Bumble is where the girl has to message you first in order for the guy to message back. Like, they can't, you can't just be solicited just random messages from guys. You have to both match with each other, and then I have to send the first prompt.
I feel like that's kind of good.
But they'll give you, like, a list of things to send. Like, they will literally give you something to send to them. Like, if you can't even think of anything.
Interesting.
So, I liked that, but at the same time, none of it worked, so. None of it worked.
None of it worked.
None of it worked. A bunch of creeps, but I wish them all the best. I wish them all the best, but it was just not it. It was people that just did not value me as a person, for real.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I knew my worth at the time, and my worth amounted as if someone swiped my picture or not. You know?
Yeah. I was definitely there. Like, I would definitely just, like, agree to, like, go out just to, like, hey, I'll get, like, a nice dinner and I'll get out of the house. Because it's, like, yeah, I was, like, lonely. Like, after I graduated high school, I was just, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't have anybody. Like, I felt really alone. So, but I don't know. Like, Brandon and I just kind of, like, came together. Like, we weren't trying, which was why I think it worked. Like, it wasn't like we're trying to fall in love.
Exactly. I stopped trying, too, and that's when I found it. And I never thought that would happen to me.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. There were, like, kids screaming. That's scary.
Oh, Lord. Oh
my
Lord.
Word. So, I found possibly... Alright, so we were talking about men on TikTok and, like, women showing, like, look how dumb my husband is. I found perhaps maybe, like, one of the smartest men to ever exist on TikTok.
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw this, but, like, he did something for his wife that, like, I never even thought of. And he was like...
Men, open up your ears.
All right, take notes. Take notes. Here we go. This blew my mind. He said, I got my wife a gift, and it was one of her perfumes that had run out on her vanity table. Like,
Aww.
one of her empty perfumes. And I'm like, that is, like, the most thoughtful thing I've ever heard of.
He's paying attention.
I was like, this dude is living in the future. Like, how? Like, I would have never even thought to do something like that.
See, I'm a super thoughtful person where, like, I totally get where he's coming from. And I love how we're praising men for doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, like, here's a man just, like, buying his wife a
Here's
perfume.
a man actually doing what he's supposed to. Yay! That is so sweet, though, and thoughtful. I don't want to, like, downplay it, because that really is so thoughtful. And you wouldn't...
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't think to ask for that. Or you would just think to buy it yourself. But It's like, hey, I just saw you were running low, so I refilled it for you.
To have something replaced that... like, you didn't even ask for. I'm like, that is, like, one of the kindest gestures I feel like someone could ever do.
So Anthony kind of did that today, actually. Something small, because Valentine's Day is coming up, but I love having just a vase of flesh flowers.
Flesh flowers?
Some fleshy
Ew.
flowers. Some fresh flowers in a vase. And he had bought me some last month, but they're all wilty and they're kind of dead. And I had mentioned it a while ago, like... oh, they're dying, like, gonna have to replace them. But he went to the store this morning, did not want me to go, and he came back with a dozen red roses to put in it, like, to refresh my flower vase. So, men, take notes.
It's real. I think sometimes men just, like, overthink that. I think people in general, I think everybody kind of overthinks things too much. It's like, it doesn't have to be
the smallest little gestures are the most memorable and most thoughtful. And all you have to do is the smallest thing for me, but if it was so well thought out, like, I'll melt. Like, I'll cry and be like, you were thinking of me. Instead of buying me some big extravagant thing, if you're like, oh, I bought you this hair clip because I noticed, like, you had needed that, or you really wanted it, I'd bawl my eyes out.
Yeah.
Versus, like, oh, here's, like, a watch for your birthday. Like, no.
Yeah. Like, when it feels personal and, like, they actually thought about it, you're like, I'm in love. Like, see, that's the thing where it's like I find the F, marry, kill thing, like, so hard because it's like, I don't know any of these people, and I hate to sound so, like, vanilla, but that's kind of just how I am. It's just like, so when you told me that guy was, like, a sweet dad, I'm like, all right, sold.
Yeah,
sold.
Mary.
Sold. Also,
Anthony's gonna love that we were talking about Corpse Grinder. He loves Corpse Grinder.
Also, I feel like a huge green flag is when guys want to have daughters. That is such a green flag.
That's cute. It's cute.
So cute.
Being a girl dad and a really good girl dad is just so wholesome.
Because, like, I've seen, like, gender reveals where, like, it's a girl and the guy's, like, so pissed off.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the opposite where they, like, bawl their eyes out and they're so happy.
It's night and day. So it's like, it's such a red flag where it's like, oh, you're that upset. Like, and you can have, like, I understand being kind of disappointed, but to, like, I saw a dude, like, straight up, like, kicking stuff, like, destroying, and I'm like, that's so immature. So I don't know. I feel like it's such a green flag.
It's like, all right, I guess we'll just get rid of this one and start over. Like, what do you, like, how do you react to that?
Did you see that
Men
one?
throwing a fit.
Did you see that gender reveal where I think they were having twins, and, like, after the first one, this girl comes out of the crowd to, like, hug the guy, and we come to find out that it's his sister,
Oh, but it looked weird.
It looked so weird. And it's like, hello? Like, go hug your baby mom? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is so weird.
But also, like, just getting in the way of the gender reveal. Like, wait for, like, everything to be over instead of just, like, running out before everyone else. Like, wait for them to come to you.
Yeah, like, it just felt
Read
very,
the
like...
room.
It just felt kind of, like, weird.
Pick me.
Yeah, pick me. Like, weird and inappropriate.
There are some Reddit horror stories where, like, some boyfriends are, like, weirdly too close to their sisters.
I've heard of that. Ooh, we should read Reddit things next time.
I'm gonna find a good one, because I heard one recently, but I want to take a deep dive and find one and get your reaction on it for sure.
Should we do, like, Am I the A-holes, or should we just do, like, crazy stories we find on Reddit?
We could do both.
Let's do both. Leave good Reddit threads in the comments below for us to check out. Yeah, I need juicy Reddit stories.
Do you go on Reddit?
I've had to cut back because the metaphobia subreddit was, like, destroying my mental health. So, like, I limit my time on Reddit. I go on and, like, look at Am I the A-holes?
I go on for Animal Crossing content.
I love that.
People giving out free dodo codes to, like, go to your island and go to their islands and, like, take their stuff.
Yeah.
So
I was using Reddit in a very, like, I don't even... like, unhealthy way. I don't know. I posted a video about, like, my story with, like, a metaphobia. And, like, Reddit was, like, a huge cesspool for me with, like, a metaphobia.
Making it worse?
It was, like, feeding my problem.
Oh, God.
So I've had to, like cold turkey just, like, stop.
Oh, yeah.
Go. So, yeah. But...
well, all right.
Well, all right? Are we well all right?
Are we well all righting?
I suppose we can't. Wait, I felt like I wanted to say something else. Darn it.
Sorry.
Wait. Oh, it was kind of like, we were talking about babies. I just saw this video. Do you remember SBSK?
Special books by special kids.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy looks like a sweetheart.
Yes, so I just saw, because I heard, I watch a lot of Am I the A-hole videos, and, like, they were talking about, like, this mother-in-law that was, like, insisting on kissing their newborn, like, on the mouth. Oh. And I always knew you weren't supposed to do that, but I recently saw on SBSK, like, he posted this little girl that had a, like, brain injury from being kissed on the mouth as a newborn. It gave her, like, a bacterial infection, and she had seizures, and
it's no joke.
It changed the entire trajectory of her life, and
how
I'm like...
selfish can one be to jeopardize a new child with no immune system?
It's insane.
Like, I have to kiss them on the mouth.
It's so selfish. Well, because then
It's like, okay, then you don't have to see them at all. I won't bring you around my child at all.
And I'm like, if I ever had a child, like... I would probably be an a-hole. Like, I'd probably just be like, no, like, please don't touch my child. Like, well, then I
don't even kiss our little nieces.
No.
I let them come and kiss me.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to risk that.
Right. And, like, so I called our mom to ask her. I was like, do you ever kiss, like, our nieces, like, her grandchildren? I'm like, do you ever, like, kiss them on the mouth? And she was like, no. She's like, if anything, I'll kiss them on the cheek, or, like, they'll go to kiss me, but, like, yeah, it's like, I feel like it's so weird, adults that are, like, insistent on kissing children. Like, I have a memory of, like, our,
Or Tom Brady.
No, what Tom? Oh, yeah, Tom Brady with his son.
Oh.
Ew. That's disgusting, but weird. I have a memory of, like, our grandmother, like, our dad's mom, like, taking my face as a little kid and just kissing me right on the lips. And I'm like,
was she a smoker, too? Wasn't she a smoker?
I don't remember. But either way, it was vile and disgusting. And it's like, also, I didn't know her that well.
I feel like I remember her doing that, too.
Ugh, like, disgusting. Like, hello, consent.
Stay away from me.
What is it with, like, older generations that just, like, don't acknowledge consent, like, at all? This is like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, like, if... I know I definitely acknowledge it too much. I'm like, come on, like, little niece, give me a hug.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're not obligated to touch me and give me a hug. If you don't want to, I'm not going to pressure you to give me a hug.
Yeah.
But if, like, oh, I'm really going to miss you, I have to leave, like, they might warm up and come over and hug me, but I'm not going to force any child to do anything to me they don't want.
Yeah, because I remember that as a kid, like,
it's terrifying.
Forced to, and you're just like, and plus, like, I was such a freaking anxious kid. It's like, please don't make me hug these people. I don't know, like, even now as an adult, when I'm, like, leaving a social gathering, I'm
wave.
like, I'm
a waver.
I'm always so, I've snuck out of, like, gatherings without saying a word to anyone. Like, I do that a lot, and I hate that, but it's like, that's my go-to. Like, I don't want to hug everybody. I don't want to, like, kiss everybody. I just want to go.
Oh, no.
It's awkward. So as a kid, I
totally relate to that.
The lack of autonomy as a child, I hated it.
It's like, oh my gosh, you absolutely do not have to give me a hug if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So then, like, sometimes I'll, like, give, like, an alternative. It's like, oh, like, can I just, like, get, like, a high five or something? Yeah. Which, like, sometimes kids will be more like, I'll rather high five you than hug you. It's like, please do not touch me if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, there's no pressure to, like, poor children. Leave these children alone.
Like, when I'm saying goodbye to our nieces, I'm just, like, making sure they know that I'm saying goodbye to them. I'm like, bye, I'll see you soon. Like, I'm just, like, waving to them. I'm not, like, hug me. Like, hug me. Like, but the one time, like, our second oldest niece, like, for the first time, like, came up and, like, hugged me and, like, said, I love you. And I'm like,
my gosh.
Like, so, I mean, yeah, it's like, why do old people insist on, like, kissing children on the mouth and, like, forcing them? It's like, ew. Talk about
leave these kids alone.
For real. Well, even the other day, I went
predatory.
I went to, like, hug B.
Did we give a trigger warning for this whole topic? This is kind of a trigger warning.
No, I went to hug B the other day. He was, like, sitting on our ottoman. And, like, he was kind of, like, he had, like, his head down. And I went to, like, go sit on his lap and, like, hug him. And he was like, no, I'm, like, overstimulated right now. And he was, like, kind of, like, panicking a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Like, imagine if I would have just been, like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like, F you. Like, hug me. It's like...
Yeah. People, we need to be able to recognize and absolutely respect people's boundaries, regardless of how old they are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just like, be nice to each other, please.
But also, like, all right, this is where we'll wrap it up. But, like, lately, my latest, like, peeve with people is, like, that people have, like, no personal space. Like, being in line at the grocery store to check out, I had, like, this dude, like, right behind me. And, like, already loading up his stuff. I'm not even, like, doing my stuff yet.
Wait a second.
There's no boundaries. Like, they will stand right up on you.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, this dude walked past me and is just, like, like, just out, like, in the...
Ugh.
I've also learned, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it was literally, like, something like 70% of people don't have situational awareness. Like, they don't think about... oh, the music in my car is too loud, or, oh, I should cover my mouth when I'm coughing. Like, they don't think about how their actions are going to affect the people around them. And I'm like, it was a large percent. I'm thinking it was
feel like
70.
There's a large number of undiagnosed neurodivergent people walking around.
That's a whole can of worms. Yeah.
Like, I have to give some of these people the benefit of the doubt. 'Cause it's like, this person has no idea of their situation, like, of what's going on around them. There has to be something going on in their head.
Yeah, I try to give the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes, girl, it is hard. Sometimes you're like, what is going on here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Well, all right.
Neurodivergent girlies. I learned that OCD is, like, a form of neurodivergence.
Oh,
so I was like, what? When I heard that, like, my mind exploded.
Anxiety, autism,
like,
depression.
I always tried to convince myself, like, no, I'm normal. Yeah, I was always like, oh, I'm normal. But then I'm like,
no,
I'm really
but that's
not.
okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, it's all right. I'm coping. I'm figuring it out.
I'm definitely, like, an undiagnosed autistic person. Like, let's be real.
I mean, it's so funny that you say that, because I remember years ago I posted a video about, I think it was called, like, jobs and social anxiety, and I would get comments like, are you autistic? And this was years ago, before it was even, like, a thing on TikTok with, like, are you acoustic? Like, No, like, people genuinely being like, are you autistic? And, like, I'm always like, I don't think so. But then I'm like, then I see some, like, symptoms of autism, and I'm like,
Listen, you show a lot of signs, but, like, so do I. And I was just having this talk with one of Anthony's friends who is worried about being autistic. I'm like, whether you get a diagnosis or not, it's not going to change who you are.
Right.
Or it's just going to give you a better idea, a better understanding of why you are the way you are. It's just understanding yourself a little bit better and, like, just trying to make the world a little bit easier for yourself.
Yeah.
A diagnosis is not like, oh, but, like, by the way, like, you're sick. No, you're still the same person as you were before.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with... I know a lot of autistic people that I love very much. Like, one of my friends is on the spectrum, and I love her to death. And
one of the things that scares me with, like, putting names to stuff is I'm afraid of, like, identifying too much with something and then becoming, like, fixated on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's, like, it's almost like if you sleep bad and you're, like, telling yourself all day, like, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, and then it makes you feel more tired.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid of being, like, I'm so mentally ill, I'm so mentally ill, I'm so mentally ill, and I don't want to, like, feel like I'm making it worse by just, like,
don't
fixating
feed the machine.
on it. Right. So, like, I try to just not think about it. So then, like, I don't know, then when I have people, like, in my comments, like, all you do is diagnose yourself and all you do is complain about your problems, and it's just like, I really try not to. Sometimes I'm just trying to think out loud.
Listen, and it's just trying to find people that relate to your situation. Where you're not necessarily hypochondriac, but you're very, very medically anxious.
Yes.
And it's okay to talk about being medically anxious online. Mm-hmm. And if it sounds like you're trying to diagnose yourself, it's like, obviously we're not medical professionals, but it's like, oh my gosh, I think I have this. Like, let's just let them go.
Yeah.
Talk them down. Be like, you're okay.
Well, and also, like, as somebody that is, like, diagnosed with OCD and, like, anxiety and depression, if somebody came to me and was like, I think I might have OCD, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're trying to diagnose yourself. I'd be like, oh, like, how, like, let me talk to you about that. Like, let me answer any questions you have about that. People are so quick to just be like, I think people get jealous almost of, like, when other people are dealing with, like, mental health issues. It's like, it's almost like competition of, like, who has it worse. It's like, oh, my childhood was hard. Well, mine was worse. And you get into that whole thing. It's, you know, stuff isn't a competition.
No.
We can all have it. We can all have problems going on.
We can all talk about our each individual problems without trying to make our problems sound worse than the person next to us, you know.
Period. I can't snap with my nails. I missed my nail appointment because I had yet another UTI. I don't even know if I told you. And I was on an antibiotic. I went to the doctor for a follow-up, right, of my UTI in December.
Did they do a urine sample in the office?
Yes. So, like, I told them, like, I'm here as a follow-up. I had 3 UTIs last year. They told me to just follow up with my primary doctor. While I'm there for my follow-up, I had another UTI. I was like, what?
Did you ask them, like, why aren't they going away? Like, is it going away and just coming back? Like,
I think my last one...
Did you need something, a stronger antibiotic or a different...
Yeah, I think my one in December never really went away. I don't think it was, like, the right antibiotic. You have to be
so careful with that.
Yeah.
You can't just let UTIs go, because when they spread... Like, that's like a straight, not to freak you out, but like if it goes like into your kidneys, like it has just such direct access to your bloodstream. Like, you just have to be so on top of that.
No, and like, I think the one in December was going to my kidneys. I had such intense back pain and I had a fever.
You probably had a kidney infection.
Yeah, no, I think I did. But like, another thing is like, I don't know, I feel like women get so dismissed, because even the doctor was like, oh, I'm not worried about 3 UTIs in a year with a woman your age. And I'm just like, well,
but that's not like me. I've never had like a UTI in my whole life.
And also, I'm concerned if the number is anything above 0. Like, I would like to have 0 in a year, please. Like, why are we dismissing, like, oh, 3 is fine, I'm not worried about it. Like, what number do I have to get to for you to be concerned?
Yeah.
That's so weird to me. And she's, That was
Lord.
That was a frustrating. And then you're reminded of why you avoid going to the doctor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still have to find a doctor in Jersey. I'm not looking forward to that.
I don't know why it's so hit or miss with doctors. It's either like...
And I have to find a new gynecologist, too. I love my gyno down here. I wonder if I should just keep going and seeing her.
Maybe you should. Well, that was another thing. She was like, oh, when was the last time you went to the gynecologist? And I couldn't really remember if it was 2021 or 22. And I was like, I think it was 2022. She's like, you need to be going every single year. And I'm like, they told me to not make another appointment when I was there. So it was just like everything I'm not doing and just like criticizing me. And I'm just like, lady, like, I don't feel good. Like, please.
Now, were you seeing a doctor or a nurse practitioner?
It was the doctor. It was the doctor that we always would see. And like, this was the one experience with her that I like wasn't happy with how she treated me.
If it's the doctor who you're talking about, I never saw her. I'm like strongly against seeing doctors as my primary. I'm a huge advocate for nurse practitioners, like CRNPs, because they are just so much, at least just from my experience, they're just so much more down to earth, and they just sit and they listen. Because my primary down here was a nurse practitioner at that same office, and I loved her, and she was so good.
Interesting.
Yeah, so definitely see like a PA or a nurse practitioner. We love our nurses.
But also there's like the mean girl to nurse pipeline.
Because, no, it's different when they're a practitioner versus like an RN.
Yeah.
It's totally different. Less drama. Yeah. There's less drama.
That needs to be studied though, I feel like.
What, the, like...
like the mean girl to nurse pipeline.
Like, why do all mean girls become nurses?
Yes, I would say not every nurse is mean, but almost every mean girl wants to be a nurse. Which, like, it can happen, which, listen.
Let's unpack that in the next one.
I literally saw a meme that was like, I don't want to go to the hospital in my hometown because I don't want to see girls that bullied me in high school.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so real. Yeah. But anyways,
well, all right.
Are we well all righting?
Are we well all right? I'm kind of hungry.
I'm kind of hungry too. What should we eat?
I was gonna say Chick-fil-A, but it's Sunday.
I just saw a thing that they're gonna make Chick-fil-A be open on Sundays, but I don't know if I believe that. It was the Bikini Bottom news. That fish never lies. Breaking news! I'm like, I believe everything this fish says, so it might be true, but also I'm not positive. But
I would love that, especially for me who has like no access to a Chick-fil-A anymore, and like if I'm down here on the weekends, I'm gonna want Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes. But
I just had Chipotle the other day this week, and it was so good. I hadn't had Chipotle since, like, before COVID. Like, the last time I had Chipotle was, like, during the pandemic when I would DoorDash a bunch of Chipotle.
Oh my gosh.
So it was so nostalgic for me. It was so good.
The pandemic nostalgia. We'll discuss that next time. What is it with COVID that's, like, people are nostalgic for it? Like, it's weird. It's weird.
Listen, take me back to the time where I didn't have to go anywhere.
Take me back to the time where I could, like, it's a holiday and I'm sitting in my house.
I knew back then, I was like, I'm not taking this time for granted. Mm-mm. Like, no, I thought sucked. That too. It sucked, but I tried to make the most of it. And I gained like 20 pounds. I was like living my best life, just eating everything and staying in home and like working on my hobbies and listening to music. I was going to school online, which sucked. But take me back to that simpler time.
It's so weird when people like romanticize such like a traumatic point in their life. It's like, I miss this so much, but it's like, you were like suffering low-key.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I don't know. Maybe it's just our brain coping. Like,
yeah, and I think it's just because as we get older, it's not that our problems get harder, but new, tougher problems. You think back to that time where it was like, oh, back then that was just so simple. Like, take me back to that time that was so hard for me. But, like, it's like, no, it sucked.
Yeah.
But you romanticize and fantasize about going back to that time because life just seemed so much simpler.
And you also, pun intended, you have, like, 20/20 vision of, like, everything that happened. Like, it was, like, a starting point and an end point. So it's, like, you can see it's almost like a completed thing where now life is, like, open-ended and it's, like, it's still going on. So I think that's kind of why we can romanticize the past a little bit.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Yeah. I don't miss COVID at all.
I don't miss the actual, I don't miss working in the hospital during COVID.
Oh, I forgot that you did that.
Yeah, I don't miss that. That was hell.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that you did that. That is scary.
Before there was even vaccines, yeah.
Weren't you in, the full, gear, too?
I looked like those scientists in E.T., finding him all sick and, everything. Literally, the whole hospital was, almost vacuum sealed like that. It was,
Did you ever get it from the hospital?
No.
No?
I never got COVID working in a hospital. I got COVID kissing Anthony in January of 2021. January of 2022.
Oh.
So I went so long without getting COVID. And then he went to a big wedding and then brought it to me. So, of course, I had to kiss somebody with COVID to get it.
That's also how I got it. Because, I'm a recluse. I hardly go anywhere. And both times I've gotten COVID was Brandon getting it from someone at work.
Yeah.
And then him just bringing it here, which it kind of made me realize I was so avoidant of, big groups and going out. And I'm like, wait, both times I got sick, I didn't even leave my house. So it's if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You can only dodge it so much.
And, over the past couple years, going to concerts and stuff, I will be totally relaxed when I'm there, but then I'll leave and have a panic attack. I'm probably gonna get sick. I'm so freaked out. And then I'm totally fine. And it's okay, if I work in healthcare all day, I probably would have gotten sick by now. I'm very good about not getting sick. But if my partner is sick, I'm getting, it's just going to happen. I'm going to get sick. I can't avoid it any other way. But anyways, guys.
Yeah, anyways.
Now that we're anxious.
Yeah, now that we're anxious. Wait, do you struggle with, being a germaphobe, too?
It depends.
Yeah. I think mine has gotten better. But, there are instances,
at work, I am for sure.
Yeah.
And now that I have a cat, I'm a little bit we Lysol the floors around the litter box and stuff. But
yeah,
I would say Anthony's probably more of a germaphobe than I am.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I try not to be, but sometimes I get in my own head. There was one time we were at a family gathering and I think all of our nieces were coughing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I came home and I'm hyperventilating and I'm washing my hair. I wasn't even gonna wash my hair, but because my hair was freshly clean and I'm scrubbing my hair and I'm crying in the shower. I'm I'm freaked out this. I hate that.
During COVID, when I was working at the hospital, every time I would come home from the hospital,
just scrub.
I had to strip all my even our mom she didn't want me to be anywhere near me until I was scrubbed down clean. Everything would go into the wash separate from the other clothes. All my scrubs would go right in. And I would go right in the shower and just burn myself with scalding water.
When
I tell you, it was such a traumatic year just working in healthcare. All my healthcare workers know who have survived through that.
I don't know how.
We had a COVID unit that was so maxed out. We couldn't take any more people in, and they had nurses for drawing blood on those floors.
Was that what you were doing? Were you phlebotomy,
drawing blood?
So
they had special people to do that, but at the hospital I worked at, these nurses did not want to draw their blood. So even though I had the whole rest of the hospital to draw, I would always be called into the ER when I didn't need to be, and I would be called onto the COVID unit.
Just because they were just refusing?
Just because they didn't want to.
Oh my gosh.
And the lab warned me of that. They're yeah, they can get pretty lazy and just call you when they don't feel like drawing somebody. And I'm okay, I'm the only phlebotomist in a whole hospital at night.
And during COVID, at the height of COVID. Ew.
And I will never forget this woman that, first off, you could barely breathe. I was wearing 3 masks, a face shield. I was wearing...
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
I was wearing, a gown, gloves. And I could not breathe. And I went in and this woman's on a ventilator, totally unresponsive. Did not know I was there.
Was it COVID?
Mm-hmm. It was on the COVID floor. And it just makes me sad when people would say, COVID's fake and not real. This woman literally was it was like I was drawing a corpse. She did not I had to stick her multiple times, and she did not flinch, move, did not know I was there. Like, it's sad.
That's horrible.
And, like, and then when our grandmother would be like, I'm not getting vaccinated, I was so upset, because I was just thinking of that old lady just sectioned off in this hospital in this glass cube, nobody wanting to go near her, barely conscious and alive. She probably died that night, like she was sick.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, and yet people are refusing to get vaccinated. Like, I've seen it. I've seen it.
I mean, I hesitated at the beginning to get vaccinated because I was just, like, concerned because, like, I don't know, I have, like, issues with, like, my heart and, like, with, like, circulation and things like that. So, like, I was, like, apprehensive, but I did eventually get it. Like, I get people's, like, you know, like, oh, I just want to wait and, like, learn a little bit more. But people that were just, like, dead set, like, no. Like, not, I'm like,
it's
what?
Like, for me, it's like, don't do it for you. Do it for the immunocompromised and the elderly people around you who are going to catch it. Like, I didn't get that. I was obviously mandated to get it because I worked in healthcare. I had to. But, like, the only reason why I truly wanted to get it was to keep my family from getting sick. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's not about me.
I think it really...
Let me get a bad side effect from the vaccine. I don't care, but if it means my family's not getting sick...
Yeah.
I would take that gamble any day.
I'm, like, honestly kind of triggered by this because it's, like, taking me back in time to that, but,
anybody else's heart pounding?
Like, where's my Apple Watch? I need to take my pulse.
I just had a flashback. Oh my gosh. Like, as I'm talking about the COVID floor, like, just zoom in on my eyes. I'm so traumatized. Yeah, just, like,
traumatized. Well, like, when the one time I went to the ER, like, in 2022, when I passed out,
Vibes.
Yeah, talking about traumatizing. When we were in the waiting room, there was this family, I guess, like, the husband / dad, I think it was in the hospital, and he was literally passing away. Like, this was, I picked up on this just from, like, being a bystander in the waiting room. Like,
and they couldn't go see him.
They couldn't go see him. They're like, you can go one at a time, blah, 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 like, to say goodbye.
In the ER?
In the ER. And they're doing this in the waiting room. And, like, the wife is, like, hysterical. The daughter is, like, yelling at this nurse or whoever. And I'm, like, I was actually, like, shook. And I'm, like, here it's, like, if my loved one,
terrible.
If that were me, I'd be like, I don't effing care. Like, I'm going in. They're like, oh, you can go, like, one at a time. And, like, they were being, like, really rude to them. And I'm like, it's crazy. And then to, like, hear the people that were like, it's just a cold. It's like, well, maybe to you, like, you know, to a lot of people, it was just, like, getting a cold. But, like...
And you have to give a lot of credit to those healthcare workers. So I can't imagine how hard it was for them to even tell that news to them. And that they can't even go see their loved ones. And it might have come across as, like, they're being rude and cold, but it's their job. And they see this all the time. And it's not, like...
No, yeah.
They don't personalize this stuff. Right. It's their job.
No, yeah, I didn't blame them.
A lot of credit to... Because that's tough.
No, but, like, it's weird because I think a lot of people, it was, like, this... thing that you felt detached from, at least for me, like, until I had COVID, like, it felt weird when you didn't have it, like, you couldn't relate to it, but then to, like, see in person, like you said, like, seeing that lady that was, like, on death's door, and then for me to see this family, like, saying goodbye, I don't know if it was COVID or what he was dying from,
but COVID kept them from seeing him.
Like, to just see it actually affecting people, like, firsthand, like, it was, girl.
Oh, yeah, girl. Anyways, guys. Hopefully this podcast brightened your day. Hopefully we made you feel a little bit better today.
Yeah.
Listen, just know that whatever you're going through, this is cliche. You're not alone. You know, there's resources out there. There's people that truly care about you. I know I care about you.
Aww.
And, like... It's a tough world out there. This world is tough, and we all got to stick together, and I think the moral of all of this is just respect people.
Yes, respect boundaries, respect decisions, respect each other.
And, you know, marry Corpse Grinder.
Oh, no, don't do that. Like, just don't do that, actually.
F. Peter Steele.
I'll pass on it.
Well, alright.
Well, alright. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you, like, in a month.
Bye! And we'll see you, like, in a month.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, but, like, we'll like, be around.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Bye!
Bye!
Well, alright.
Well, alright.
Well, alright.
Well, alright.
Okay. I'm putting that in the bloopers at the end.